So with Surgeon Sparks releasing very, very soon, it'll only be a couple of weeks away now. We've had the Super Electric Breaker set release yesterday, and it most definitely has got some very nice cards. But the big thing, not only is the actual set, is the actual TCG box. So with Surgeon Sparks, if we have a look at the box, you've obviously got the Pikachu on the front. That is going to be the kind of front runner that we're looking at the moment. Now, in terms of this set in general, I feel like it's going to be quite a big one. Pikachu being the main kind of character in this. Hydrogen, very, very good card as well, especially in their special art. I do show you that one, in fact. You've got it in the Super Electric Breaker at the moment. Right at the bottom, you've got the difference between... all the way this one, like there is a gold version of each of them and then also a standard, which I'll show you, but this is like the special art rare. You've got the Pikachu, stunning, like that's obviously going to be number one. And then number two, like, to be fair, depending on pull rates and kind of where we're sitting, this could also be a front runner for it. Both of them are absolutely incredible designs, and obviously the kind of the chase cards of the two. You also have this version of Pikachu, and you have the exact same as Hydrogen, and then also there is a gold one that should be down here of Pikachu, and I believe... I want to say Hydrogen doesn't get into that one, so it is just Pikachu with the three, whereas Hydrogen has the two different ones as well. So that's already huge in this set. Not only that, we do get an incredible Magneton card also. That is going to be a stunner of a card in physical person as well. So already this ETB is looking absolutely incredible. You can see we've got the back of the ETB there. In general, when it comes to Elite Trainer boxes, I think they are probably the second value that you can go with, because obviously booster boxes are number one. Everybody likes the packs. It's the most amount of packs you can physically get. Maybe if you look at something like Shrouded Fable, where you can only get the, the mini booster boxes. I think it's 8 packs or 9 packs. I can't remember how many is in it, but they are great for the sets that don't have the booster boxes. But then comes the ETB. The ETB is kind of just one of them things that always works out to be incredible. Obviously, you will get all of the packs with it. You get your kind of counters, you get your sleeves, the generic energy cards, but then the Magneton, which is absolutely massive, I think personally. It is an incredible card for me. So I personally will really like that in general as a whole set. But when you look at ECBs in general, so if I go to, price listing, I want to say. Oh, I can't remember. Yeah, it is this one. So if you go into this and have a look at Pokemon Elite Trainer box, should hopefully come up with them all. So when we look across the board with them, obviously the earlier you go, the more price they do go up. And it's not every time. Like Brilliant Stars is still only $38, which is still a very good price. Whereas you look at some of them, like we look at the Ancient Origins, it's a considerable amount of age in that now, $8.90. You're looking at Burning Shadows at $109. You've got Celestial Storm at $334. That in terms of a investment kind of point, I don't know how many you'd go for, but I mean, they can go up. You look at something like an Evolving Skies, if you manage to get into that early, then you're absolutely laughing. Phantom Forces at 2.8 grand, 4 grand for Plasma Storm. Now, I'm never going to say that they will guarantee go up to this sort of level, because you look at quite a lot of them. You look at like a Shrouded Fable, that's gone down. That's probably at an incredible buy point right now. If you think you get, 9 packs in each of them. I know Shrouded Fable, I think the packs are around about 220 to 240 on average per pack. If you're looking at that is pretty much the pack that you've got right there. So there is no going further down there. Like the packs have exceeded the ETB. So anything like that is always a good point, because not that you can't lose money on it, because people could not buy it. Like that, it's quite a simple one really, but it's very hard to lose the value on that. Like, you're not going to see an ETB go for $10, £10. Like, it just isn't happening, because the packs inside are very rarely ever going to hit a £1 per pack. Like, it's just virtually impossible to some extent. You look at something like a Stellar Crown at 27 as well. If you can buy it at that, you're absolutely laughing. Because you've got then the team up, you've got then looking at something like Unbroken Bonds. Now, this is going back a fair few years, so you are looking to really hold for the years as well. But then you look at the kind of new modern sets, they're all chilling around about the same. When we look at something like, if we go was thinking that. I was like, what's that? It's Breakthrough. If we're looking at Sword and Shield, obviously that's the Elite Trainer Box Plus. You're looking at $71. Now, I don't know if that is... I'm assuming that's the bigger box, I want to say. So you've got then the Pokemon Center box as well. That's always going to be a big one. If we can go, we sort by price, and then we'll go to the bottom and see where we're kind of hitting that over the value, because normally what I have value wise in terms of pounds is kind of anywhere between like 30, 35 to 45 as an average. That's kind of like a day one release. So anything above it, like Lost Origin, that kind of went out of production really. We got an out of stock on a lot of things, and yet it's still chilling around that sort of price. Astral Radiance slightly up. You've got Fusion Strike slightly up as well. I get that this is in dollars also, so it's not as if it's up crazy amounts. But then you look at something like a Pokemon Go, I don't think you'd be able to get... Oh, it's the Pokemon Center. Was going to say, I don't think that one would really go for that. I think that is kind of an error more so than anything. And when you do look at Pokemon Center ones, of course they are going to be slightly up a little bit. You see a lot of the time, you can see here, a lot of Sun and Moon base ATBs are kind of going up. They're now a few years old, or a couple of years old. It's only Pokemon Celebrations, which was from the Sword and Shield era, that's gone up, because in general the actual set has gone up as well. You'll see the likes of Pokemon 151, because the set is up, that is up as well. We see Champion's Path at that sort of price, and more than likely the further you go up, the more you should find a Evolving Skies. How much is it coming in at? I would have thought it had been there. Pokemon, so we say Evolving Skies. I don't know if I could put ETB. I don't think it'll pop up. The Celebrations. It's not going to show me, is it? So we go Evolving Skies ETB. Evolving Skies. See what the price is actually coming in at now. We got Arc. Okay. If we go then to Pokemon TCG, no, we go to TCG Player, that might be an easier one to have a look at. We'll bring this over, because this should, Evolving Skies, ETB, hopefully it has it on there. Leave this store, ATB. Okay, so we're looking at a $161 on the amount there. So that is just, again, another set of kind of Pokemon that is going up in general. When we look at the booster box for it, it's absolutely nuts, the level that it is up. So if we go to high to low, we look at the booster box as well. That's coming in now, a whole case, geez. If you're looking at one, it's a market value at 754. We've got one listing at $1.5 grand. To be honest, it's probably not that far away. With Moonbreon, with obviously Rayquaza, with Leafeon, the pricing is absolutely nuts, to be honest. So that just in general is crazy. But when you look at something, so can we just type in ETB here? Ooh, okay. So if we go from high, can we go low to high? So is that going to show cards? I was going to say, I knew that was going to show cards. So if we go down a little bit, go to page 3, I'm assuming. So we go, okay, we got, this is what I mean, we got a few, and there's going to be different products in here as well. You've got Japanese sets that, I don't know if the Japanese have ETBs, as their booster boxes are a little bit lower, but you can see like Brilliant Stars coming in at 43. We've now got 42 on average for Surge and Sparks. You got 44 for Paldean Fates, 46 average, and that's just the average. But you can see there's only 4 listings. There's 1 listing for 65. You've got a few that will be out of stock. Mainly the Pokemon Center ones will be out of stock, so you've got to get them ones quick. And to be honest, they do follow the same sort of trend of kind of an upwards, like more so than anything. And realistically, when it comes to ETBs, the one thing that seems to be kind of the main factor when it comes to a price increase, in like most Pokemon cards, is just time, general time. Like you look across the board, like we see like a Rayquaza GX kind of deck, $84, $85 give or take. It's going to be out for a few years. That's what you've got to wait. You won't see most of these sets going for a crazy amount a year out. It's going to take 3, 4, 5 years. And then even when you look at kind of like, if you look at, for instance, the number 1, because we haven't had ETBs from the absolute start, you won't find kind of like a, it's not a base set, but like say if we go to like Black and White, I'm assuming, I don't even know when the actual first one was, but for instance, say if we look at Celestial Storm, Pokemon Celestial Storm, that came out Release date in 2018. So it's had 6 years since it's been out. It's just a crazy amount. And some of them will go up just in general, like we've seen with Evolving Skies. That one is kind of just a almost freak set. Unbroken Bonds came out in 2019, so you can kind of get where the normal one is, like Dragon Magistry. That one, I'm pretty sure that came out in 2018 as well. So you can see the difference with it. It is kind of just waiting alongside it, to be honest. And the more you have, the kind of better you have per price. Because if you can buy a case of, for instance, if you can buy a case of Surgeon Sparks, yeah, then obviously you're going to hopefully pay less per box, which would be ideal because then the margins do become better. You could either then sell them as a case later on, or you can obviously sell them individually if you want to crack the box and do it that way. But I think in general, this product is going to be absolutely huge for it. I do think this set is going to be fantastic to try and go into, especially when we have got the hype of all the other sets, because that's kind of the big thing. A lot of people think, well, in a year's time, Pokemon's going to be non-existent. Well, we've got at least, say, we've got the Rockets, potentially an Evolving Skies 2.0, an Evolution set. We've got Gym Heroes. We potentially have other sets that will hit like almost like a base set sort of level. There's 4 months worth of sets. So for instance, you could have nearly half a year worth of hype just in 4 sets that are announced right now. This ain't going away for a long time. Now, I'm not sitting here saying go and spend 2-3 grand on ETBs for Surgeon Sparks, but if you are looking at maybe having a couple of sealed products for your collection, a case of these, maybe 1, 2, 3, is never going to hurt your collection when it comes to these. 1 to open, 1 to hold on to. It could potentially pay for the previous one in a few years as well. But in general, this is a great product. The Magneton's incredible. The packs, I think, from the set will just be absolutely brilliant. And it's definitely worth at least a hold on, especially with Pokemon's mascot pretty much slapped on every single front cover of it.